Hey YouTube, coming at you the Summer Cup team that got me to 2271. So yes, started at 2075, already up to 2271. SCIZOR, Furret, Blastoise. I've used a variation of this team over the past couple seasons now. I used Furret and Blastoise with Annihilate that got me from 2500 to 2992. And then I've used Scizor Blastoise combo as well, just because Blastoise is a fantastic cover for Scizor's only fire weakness, and Scizor can deal with most of the things that Blastoise is weak to, and Fred is a good safe swap. So team worked out well. I was, I think, like 8-2 or 7-3, and then I've done 2 more, so I'm 1-1 in that one. So doing pretty well with it. Scizor, you play out most leads. So I forgot what the lead was, chipped the Furret so that I can then just ensure I keep switch. So Furret is very spammy. I'll be able, but also got a little bit of bulk behind it. So able to live a couple swifts here with ease. And I'm going to throw, nope, go to the farm down, take it out. Yeah, I'm guessing it's Cordelia on the lead. Yeah, that's why they bail, because it would be super effective bullet punches. So I will get off a trailblaze here, and likely a second one. Use 1 HP. This will leave them with a Rock Tomb, and it is a Shadow. So I don't know if I don't know if I'll take this. I think I just may shield, because I don't know what's in the back yet, right? It could be like another thing that beats Blastoise, so you don't want to get rid of this too quickly. It's a Rangaroo, so stayed in here to basically put some pressure on. Confusion is resisted, and put some pressure on with these Night Slashes. I may shield to try and get another Night Slash off. Yeah, Night Slash is going to provide enough pressure here on this shield. And then Blastoise can take charge moves. I understand they have Trailblaze, so it's not as straightforward as you want this to be, but it's not bad, because you'll live a Trailblaze for sure. And even a brutal swing from this range is not going to take out. So they're going to have to land another one. And they decide that it would be better to try and catch, lowering their attack and allowing me to, I mean, if I was throwing and they caught, it would have worked, but I did not. Got the farm down, got the Skull Bash for the win. Here, you can see me spinning 3, 4, 5, 6, and I don't get a move through. Yeah, so I think the game is spinning on me a bit today. It's like, guess my internet connection, but I had like, you can see it's not like the perfect, but geez, when the game just can't let you play with a slight. It's not like I'm in some rural area here. I'm in a city with 1 million people in it. So do take the lead. In came a fire. Instant swap into your Furret here. Furret is generally safe. There's no real fighters in this meta right now. There's 2 Poliwrath and Blaziken, and not many people are using them, which means normal typings are going to roam pretty free. I don't really want to let this go, because it's going to be pretty tough to take out with the Blastoise, and they're going to potentially just outpace. So I shield, knowing that I can get to a Night Slash here, but I'm going to bank that, because I think that's more valuable on CMP if I need it. I'll know I'll live a Shadow Ball too. And they go Torch Song for some reason, and then top left. So I don't know what they were thinking there. But, yeah. So I played this matchup out twice, and I think I played it out differently both times. Scizor into Empoleon. The problem is, Empoleon's just going to, like, outspam, especially if you want to go Trailblaze to boost your attack. Not that you need to boost a resisted bullet punch. Night Slash is still neutral. But I just don't know about the Hydros coming your way. I feel like one Hydro is basically going to take you out, where one Night Slash will not take them out. So I get into Furret here, but I have played that differently before too. But Furret here, boosted once with Trailblaze. There's a Swift, grab a shield. They try to Mud Slap down. Oh, okay. I was going to say if they tried to Mud Slap down, they would not get it. So knowing that, throwing right before I get to the move. Scizor comes in. Can I take it down before they get to a move here? Yes. So now I have a move, but unfortunately they have a Turtonator in the back. And now Empoleon has a good matchup against Blastoise, just because every move is resisted on my end while they do have neutral drill picks. So I'm pulling on a little tough to overcome on this one, and then I'm gonna have to align a double weak to Pokemon, a Pokemon double weak to fire against the fire Pokemon. So I get one Hydro off. I'm gonna have to shield this because I need to try and get Blastoise aligned on this. I'm hoping to get a Hydro off here, and honestly, best case scenario is they like shield and I snipe, but they, I think, correctly recognize that the best play is just go one shield, Turtonator. So brutal swing, does not quite KO. Do get to the Hydro Cannon. But that one does take me out, so I am at a Night Slash, but a Night Slash from this range is not anywhere close to taking this out, and they're just going to incinerate me down or get to a charge move. So I would have lost, but I'm showing this because this is happening more than I would like it to. You know, it's one thing to get one turn leg. I get game freezes like this constantly. Like, I think I mentioned last year in the Why I Didn't Hit Legend, I had like 7 or 8, maybe more than that last season that were just like that. That one I probably would have lost anyway, so it's fine. But I've had plenty of times where the game just freezes like that, where I would have won. So I don't know why that happens. If anyone knows, please let me know. That's why I put that one in and extended it to show you guys, because I don't understand why I'm just stalling like that and just full out freezing. It's not like I'm doing anything on my end. Okay. Gastrodon comes in, and when you have a double Trailblaze user, you're in a pretty good spot when you see Gastrodon, right? So Water Pulse goes through. I will shield that. Get to the Trailblaze. This will one shot if they let it go, which I think they shield if I remember, because you got that 45-second switch clock that you can potentially throw a third move here, 2 for them, 1 for me, and then the switch clock is pretty desynced. Actually, plus they caught a Night Slash. No, plus they threw a Night Slash, so that's the 4th move. So yeah, definitely enough to get out of there. Just throwing the Swift to take this out because I already boosted my attack, I believe. Yeah, I boosted with the Trailblaze, so attack is boosted. Out comes a Kingdra. Just going to throw a Swift to chip it here. And I get it pretty low. And my only concern is this thing has like an Outrage. So I'm coming in with SCIZOR to try to like get them to dump it. And you can see, I felt like I was delayed there. I felt like they got like 3 Dragon Breaths for the 1 that I got off, but they still kind of crazily throw Outrage there against like a 1 HP SCIZOR. So if they banked that, probably would have had a chance, but now Blastoise on a Water Pulse Gastrodon, they don't really have much to do there. Another Gastrodon lead, we'll just play this out. Definitely get to the Trailblaze. You're going to outpace Trailblaze versus Water Pulse and Earth Power. So for me, it's a pretty easy bait. I say never bait, but when you're at a Trailblaze and they're now just getting to their Water Pulse, like 99 times out of 100, they will shield that first move up. It's kind of scary not to. So I let that move go, knowing I have another Trailblaze user in the back. And they try to catch on a Fortress and did not work. So I am just into Blastoise, roll out neutral, Hydro Cannon neutral. But does enough to get them to the yellow. Now I know I'm going to get hit with a Rock Tomb. And my other Pokemon are pretty low or gone. So I have to shield this up. Actually, yeah. It's not too low. It's actually at like 75% health for the Furret. But still, I don't like... when you don't know what all the Pokemon on your opponent's team are, I don't like saving 2 shields for just one Pokemon. I think that's a recipe for disaster. But now my attack's lowered and my defense is down. So I'm going to reset that, come in with Furret to be met with a SCIZOR. So SCIZOR is going to resist all the charge moves here. There's an argument that you can potentially throw Trailblaze to boost your attack and make those sucker punches do more here. But I know that the Swift at the speed is going to put enough pressure on this. Coming in here with the Blastoise, trying to overfarm a little bit, and they catch on Gastrodon. And unfortunately, despite the catch, they live with a 1 HP, and that is huge because that Mud Slap then registers, and I lose by 1 HP here. So if I could have taken that Gastrodon out, I would have taken that matchup. But 1 HP, enough to get that Mud Slap through and take me down there. This matchup, like I said, I'm worried that one Hydro is going to take me out. I'm going Trailblaze. I don't know if that's even the right play. Trailblaze guarantees your attack. Night Slash does not, but Night Slash you would have spammed at the same time, and now I'm just going to get out spammed here. So I know that, and I'm catching right before I would have gotten to the move because they're likely to try and maximize their energy and throw right before I get to the move. So catch that Hydro Cannon, but now met with the Toedscruel, which has a grass move. It is half ground, so at least I will have neutral Hydros, even though Rollout is resisted. So here comes a Hydro. Toedscruel's got some bulk, able to live that Hydro and not even register to 50%. And I don't know if they undercharged there or that's just how much the Seed Bomb did. But worst case scenario, because now they get to another move because they got 3 Mud Slaps through and took me down right before I was getting to a charge move. So kind of worst case scenario, my attack, I see it. I see the attack sharply rose. I know every move is resisted, but even registering here will chip. Seed Bomb's double resisted on the Bug and Steel. So let's see what they come in with. I am attack boosted here. Empoleon comes in, so I'm probably going to just grab this shield and then instant swap, knowing that I'm pretty low, that there's the option that could potentially farm me down here and come out with energy, so I don't want that to happen. Get instant swap. I don't know what's in the back, but I gotta imagine that Hydro is probably one of the hardest things I'm going to see on this team, and that is exactly right. Diggersby in the back with a little bit of energy advantage is going to help me a ton here because basically they need to go do 2 Scorching Sands. I need to do 2 Trailblaze. So I can't really mess around because they could go Scorching Sands Fire Punch and just chip me here. So I got to throw it as soon as I get it. No over farm, coming out with a little bit of energy, does not matter. I just need to take this out. I am now 2 times boosted, so these Sucker Punches will add up to get them to a couple HP. I know I only have a couple HP left, but Metal Sound is also resisted on the Steel, so I may have a chance here just because of how much Bullet Punch does, and I will win because Bullet Punch just does that much, just hits pretty hard on a Shadow SCIZOR compared to a non-Shadow Empoleon. Stunfisk, another kind of weird one. Bullet Punch is resisted on the Electric, but Trailblaze is super effective, and that Trailblaze lands. I was trying to catch on Furret here. You'll live 1, so you can stay in with this you really want. Now, they're out of move. I have a decision to make. My decision made was Bullet Punch is resisted but buffed. I think I can take Switch here, which I do. Come out with a move, throw the move, and chip, which I did. I did throw Grass into a Flyer, but as you're going to see here, this thing does not have the bulk that it still does, like 35% there. I can take 1 Joe Peck, I know that, and then we'll start putting some pressure on this shield here, or the shields. So here comes a Hydro Cannon. They do shield. Decision time here. Looks like I am committing to the shield farm down, come out with energy here. And we'll have to see what's in the back. It is a Dugong, so not going to mess around here, going straight Skull Bash, because this will do 1 of 2 things. It'll chip enough that it's now within one Trailblaze range, or they shield, and then I can just come in here immediately and just go double Trailblaze. Either way, in a pretty good spot, especially with the speed of Trailblaze. Yes, Fret's a little lower because you got a little more fairies this season and a little more Steel, which resists all the charge move, but man, this thing has still got speed. Getting to the Swift because the Sucker Punches took down low enough. Charizard. Charizard's tough, and I feel like I have better answers in the back. So even though it was a Dragon Breath where that is resisted on Steel, Bullet Punch is also resisted, and Dragon Breath is charging very quickly, and Air Cutter get to it faster, and it's still going to chip. So not anything you want to mess around with, in my opinion. Just it's easier just to get out of that matchup. So Rock Tomb, shielding that up. because I really want to flip switch, right? They have a Charizard on the lead that definitely got some energy. So I just want to flip switch here. They do get to move. My Furret's IVs are pretty good. 0, 13, 15. And luckily they are, because I live with a 1 HP. The Charizard comes back in. So they're going to have to shield because Charizard is just so glassy. And now I got Blastoise alignment. Blast Burn's still going to hurt. There's no... Again, Shadow Charizard doesn't really care about your typing. Air Cutter still does a ton too. And they have, of course, the Gastrodon in the back. So the problem with this is... Yeah. I got a shield just because rollout is resisted and the Mudslaps are going to add up on the Blastoise, and Blastoise is already pretty low. It's now very easy for them to let this go and just go one shield Charizard. So trying to nuke, trying to make my, or take that out, trying to get it that I'm low enough that they don't get a ton of farm. Still having enough health to get to this move to come in Blastoise. Unfortunately, it looks like they're at like 4 or 5 turns with the Dragon Breath, which means they're out of move. And a Blast Burn does not care about your typings when your Shadow Charizard does well over 50% on Blastoise to take me out. Tough to deal with that. Okay. Another Gastrodon. So again, you can get to the Trailblaze before they get to their Water Pulses, which means it's just an easy bait in my opinion. So we will once again go for the Night Slash. Grab that shield. This time I'm going straight Night Slash too. I think it's just valuable to get that free chip. And I grabbed the second shield, so that's actually crazy that I grabbed that, but even just getting that chip would have been valuable. So they decide to double shield, which is great. Here comes probably Furret because I have Trailblaze that will one-shot. They may try and catch or get to a move here first. So I will respect this move. Don't really want to take a Water Pulse or Earth Power at this case. And I don't even know what percentage Earth Power has of lowering your defense, but apparently my defense was lowered. So gonna boost my attack. Now I need to weigh defense versus attack here. Not much to weigh when it's a grass Pokemon. So going to just play this out. It is Credilli, half rock, so this is still neutral. My attack is now 2 times boosted, right? Because I boosted on the last one, I boosted on this one. My defense is 1 times lowered. Here comes my attack being 1 times lowered again. So now it's single boosted, which is still fantastic, especially that I'm going to outpace. I am now 2 times boosted heading into the back Pokemon. We'll have to see what that back Pokemon is. That back Pokemon is a Dugong, and I'm 2 times boosted, and the speed is just too fast that a 2 times boosted Trailblaze is going to do like 75% here. Yeah, taking them to deep, deep red, and they have nothing they can do. Even if they had 2 Jerwins loaded, it would not have mattered. I will be able to roll it down before they come anywhere near to taking out my Blastoise. Furret, yeah, I think, what's that meme? My demise is overstated or whatever. I don't think Furret's not as bad as people are making it out to be. So throw Swift. I do grab a shield. Charizard is farming a ton. I'm just gonna let this go. You know, I did my job. I grabbed 1 shield. I took you to the yellow. It is just an air cutter. Through right away, hoping that they would maybe do one with Dragon Breath, but they actually catch on a Credilli, which is a nice catch. So the only problem here is, yeah, I'm just going to instant swap and shield. Yeah. My concern was if I farm down, they're just going to acid down and come out with like 2 Rock Tombs here before I can get in, and then the switch timers would have reset, so I would have come in for like 2 seconds and then been like in trouble anyways. So I thought instant swap, and then I throw Night Slash Blind, and it's a Gastrodon where Trailblaze would have been super effective, double super effective, and would have taken it out. And now I do come in here where I do have a Trailblaze, but I believe they shield. Yeah, I'm staying in here because I just boosted my attack, and I want to chip this to within Skull Bash range because rollout's resisted, so that's not doing enough. Assuming this is just Body Slam, I could take a couple. I don't want to take too many because then that leaves me in potential fast move damage range in the back here. Gastrodon comes in. So I throw the Hydro. This time it is enough to take the Gastrodon out. Oh, sorry, not does not come in, but I do take it out. Have a Hydro for the Charizard. And a Shield. Okay. So again, SCIZOR, Blastoise core is strong. I used Furret Blastoise with Annihilate last year. I just think the pairing makes sense. I think they've got enough bulk and flexibility for most of the meta. Yeah, and it's just a pretty strong team overall. Yeah, so that's basically it. Furret and Blastoise in a pinch. I use Furret as a safe swap a lot on this team because, again, SCIZOR is really only going to be weak to... It only has one weakness in Fire. And you're not coming in with a water Pokemon right away because then your opponent's going to have an answer for a water Pokemon if they have a fire lead. So you have to safe swap Furret against fires. If it's a water lead and it's like a really bad water lead that you don't think you can overcome, that you want to get out, Furret or Blastoise I think could both make sense depending on what you see on the lead and what you think the team is. Anyways, hope you're having a good weekend. There's another event with some new Pokemon and some Shadow Pokemon from Team Rocket turnover. So we'll go over that tomorrow, but also one last, probably Summer Cup before we roll into Master League, Mega Master League, and another limited, I think Willpower Cup it was. Anyways, yeah. Thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button if you're new, and I will see you guys in the next one.